Hey, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining live. And I just barely set up the bot with the reminder and was a little bit behind schedule this morning because I was onboarding a new client. So it's a little bit late, but it's coming. Or if you can't watch this live, there's also show notes. Today, I'm chatting all about Instagram because did you know there are 500 million Instagram accounts that are active? I read something, oh, there's my phone. Let me turn my phone off. I read something the other day that said 100 million photos are posted every day on Instagram. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of content. I post every single day. I know most people do, but I wanted to ask you, are you one of the people that is posting every single day? Want to come say hi? I have a little kiddo joining me today. He's working in my office with me.
I'm building a little girl from our family.
He's building with Legos. Okay, go sit over there. I'll be done in just a second.
Her name's Little Emma.
Oh, and he named it Little Emma.
And she's
Kids are fun, huh? We're waiting for school to get started.
She's in the family.
Okay, thanks, bud. We are, school starts here next week. So for the next couple of days, I have a little worker in my office, which is always fun. Anyway, back to Instagram. You should be engaging on Instagram every single day. Even if you're not posting, you should still be in there engaging, whether that's with Instagram stories, Instagram live, or you're posting, or you're just talking to people. One of the great things about ways to build your audience and your followers on Instagram is to go in and talk to people. You know, so you can find people based on hashtags. You can just comment to people that have commented on your posts. You could reach out to the people that are already following your page. There's lots of ways that you can do that, but you should be on there engaging, especially if that is your one of the main platforms that you're focusing on. For me, it's Instagram and Facebook, so I kind of try to split my time between both. But whatever's in your marketing plan, you should make sure you're engaging each day on whatever that platform is. So it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be all time consuming because I know it can be overwhelming if you don't have a plan. Today, I'm going to share my latest and greatest, I guess, tips and tricks for engagement for Instagram, Instagram TV, and Instagram stories and Instagram live. So if you want the show notes, go ahead and holler live down below and I'll get them sent to you. I just realized I didn't get the bot set up. So if you comment, I will just send them to you personally. I'll send you a message as soon as I'm done with this. So I am Christy Hansvik of Simply Online. I am an entrepreneur's secret weapon. We teach people how to use social media and content repurposing for maximum visibility online. And we also have done for you services as well. So before we dive in, if this is a topic that speaks to you, something that you feel like would resonate with your tribe, please share with your tribe, let them know. I would love the support of sharing and helping get the message out. So I love meeting new entrepreneurs. I love connecting with people and sharing my knowledge. And I think that video is a great way to do that. And then also thanks for engaging in the chat with me too. That keeps me going and keeps me excited when I see the interaction there. Okay, so if you were here last week, you know that I'm doing a 4-week series on social media. So last week we talked about Instagram. This week we are going to last week we talked about Facebook. This week we're going to talk about Instagram. And then for the next 2 weeks after that, we'll be talking about LinkedIn, and I haven't decided on the last one yet. So stay tuned. Last week, I went over some of my favorite tips about how to be successful on social media. And I feel like it's worth going over again because they're so important. Social media is about being social, so you have to be active. We have people come to us all the time and say, I don't want to do anything with it. You just take it, you do it, and I just don't want it on my plate. So while you can outsource, and I obviously promote outsourcing since I'm an outsourced company, you also need to make sure that you are taking time to be active on social media and reach out to people and engage people. So one of the things that we do for our clients is every Monday we send them an action list of things that they need to work on for the week. So that could be, make sure you record a live video, or make sure that you're in stories, or make sure that you're reaching out to 5 people that commented on your post this week. We give you that action list so that while we're managing the consistency, you are still maintaining and helping be social. Next thing, don't make it all about you. I know that is the hardest thing to do sometimes on social media, is to not get offended when people don't comment or like or share your stuff. It's not personal. It's not against you. It just maybe doesn't speak to them. Or maybe you need to tweak your branding a little bit so that it does resonate more with your ideal client. But don't make it all about you. Make sure, see how you can serve, how you can support, how you can provide information to your audience. The next one, use a variety of different mediums, because there are lots and lots of ways to share your message online. There's live video, there's blogging, there's newsletters, there's social media. The great thing about repurposing content, which is what I teach about and what I'm passionate about, is that you can do all of those platforms using the same message, and you can do it pretty simply. So I have a course that's all about repurposing content. It's called Multiply Your Message. And the next round of that is going to launch in the next couple of weeks. So if that's something that you're interested in or speaks to you, let me know. I'm happy to send you the information all about that. Last thing I want to mention about how to be successful on social media is to be consistent with your brand. So whatever platform people visit, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, your website, your newsletter, those should all be cohesive. They should all have the same message, the same fonts, the same colors. Like, people should know that wherever they're visiting you, that it's you and that it's your brand. So that's sometimes something that I see that often is the inconsistencies. Like on Facebook, it's listed as, your profile is listed as something, and then on Instagram it's something different. Keeping those all the same and making them cohesive is what it makes your brand stronger, and it makes it easier for people to find you. So, okay, now let's talk all about Instagram, because I know that is what you came for, is to learn all about the gram, which I think is a really funny name, but it's the new slang, right? I actually felt really old saying that. Okay, so like I mentioned before, there are 100 million photos uploaded to Instagram every single day. That's a lot of content, which is why it's so important that your message is consistent, that your branding is consistent, that you are speaking to your ideal client. If you need help with any of that, I recommend Amber Griffiths from Your Brand by Design. I will tag her below in this post when I'm done with the video, so you can reach out and connect with her. She is brilliant with figuring out ideal client and the branding side of things. And she takes it a step further than most people do. Like, branding isn't all about just your colors and your logo. It's also about your message, your ideal client, how you're speaking. So she's a fantastic resource if you need some support with that. Okay, how often should you post on Instagram? This is going to be, if you watched my video last week and I said watch the analytics all the time, like I said that quite often, you're going to hear the same thing this week. So initially, post daily. But after you've been posting for a couple of weeks, watch your analytics and see when people are online. Like, so initially, maybe your first week, you get really good at just posting once a day. And then your second week, maybe you post at 9 a.m. And then the third week, you post at 2 p.m. Just a second, bud. You post at 2 p.m. You can look and see, do people respond better to your post at, 9 a.m. or 2 p.m.? It's important to look at those numbers and see. Most brands need to post 5 to 7 times a week on Instagram, and then also do stories, but we'll talk about stories in a minute. But you need to know what works for you. Keep in mind, when you're posting daily, you're not coming up with new ideas every single day. You can repurpose your content. You can reuse past content that worked really well. So if you have a post that either went viral or you got a lot of interaction on, it's okay to repost that and reshare it every couple of months. You can use a call to action. That's often something I see that people miss on their social media, is actually asking for the sale or asking for someone to follow them on Facebook and Instagram, asking for people to sign up for your newsletter or schedule a discovery call with you. Like, you have to actually ask people to do something. My favorite way to use Instagram is, as you're creating graphics and sharing posts, is to make sure that those graphics and quotes are things that I have actually said, either in a video or a blog post, or something that I'm passionate about. If I am just sharing quotes from like Brene Brown and Oprah Winfrey all the time, all I'm doing is supporting them. Whereas if I use that as an opportunity to share my own message, things will go a lot farther, not only with my marketing, but then people know my message and what I stand for a lot better. So use your own quotes. Don't be afraid to use your own quotes. The last thing I want to mention about Instagram is to make sure that your grid is aesthetically pleasing. So there still needs to be strategy behind it, but also you want, when people go and look at your grid, that it looks cohesive, that it looks planned, that people know that you're not just posting on a whim, that you've actually thought it out. I like to use Planoly because you can pre-plan your grid and move, like drag and drop and move things around. It's really easy to use. But that way I can see what my grid looks like before I post it. If you have not used Planoly before, I highly recommend you check it out. I think you either get one free account or it's super cheap just for one account. I can't remember because we have like a business version, but if you're using Instagram regularly, check it out. So Instagram stories. So this is more for your day-to-day happenings. And then, like I mentioned before, your feed is for more of your pre-planned content providing value. You can use multiple stories to convey one message at a time. So we tell our clients to make it so that they have to tap through 3 to 5 times to see and hear your whole message. If you go beyond the 3 to 5, you'll most likely lose people. And make sure that you're adding stickers and text and, fun gifts on there, because that's what's going to get people engaged. They do vanish after 24 hours, but you can save them as highlights on your profile. The great thing about Instagram stories is, one, they're pretty relaxed, but there's a lot of options. You can add stickers, you can add polls, you can ask questions, you can hashtag, you can tag people. There's tons of filters. You can do video, you can add links, you can do shopping. There's the boomerang feature. Like, there are a ton of options of ways to let your personality and let your brand come out through Instagram. So use Instagram stories. Make sure that if you're mentioning someone, that you're tagging them. Tag your business besties, promote affiliate links if you have them, and then make sure that you're including the call to action. Sometimes people forget about that actual ask people to do something. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I like to follow the 80-20 rule. So 80% of what you're posting, whether it's in stories, Instagram Live, or on your grid, 80% should be informational, educational, providing value, and then 20% should actually be asking for the sale or asking for asking for something specific. Sign up for a course, sign up for your newsletter, give me a testimonial. You can follow that 80-20 rule pretty much anywhere, I think. Okay, very lastly, I want to touch on Instagram Live and Instagram TV. So here's my opinion on Instagram Live. If you are just starting with Instagram, or maybe you're still working on the consistency piece, pick one live platform, whether it's Instagram Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Pick one and get really good at that. And then when you're comfortable, then you can upgrade to 2. If you try to do 2 right away, that's really cool, bud. You are going to overwhelm yourself, and you'll overwhelm your audience. So cool. Okay, thanks. Just give me 3 minutes, okay? Anyway, you're going to overwhelm your audience, and you'll overwhelm yourself if you're trying to do too much at once. So I recommend just pick one. For me, I do Facebook Live, and then I share my Facebook Live to Instagram TV. you can, I mean, there's a variety of ways you can do it, but that works for me. If you're doing Instagram Live, that's what the platform you've chosen, then you can share your Instagram Live to do a watch party on Facebook. So there's a ways that you can repurpose them and cross promote, but don't overwhelm yourself by thinking that you have to do live video on all of the platforms. So I'm not trying to discourage Instagram Live. I just pick one or the other, Facebook or Instagram. And then IGTV, this is for pre-recorded video. I think they can be up to 10 minutes long. We like I mentioned, I like to post my Facebook Lives there. There isn't a whole lot of data with Instagram TV. It's been out for, I think, about a year, maybe 18 months, but they haven't released a whole lot of numbers around it. So we don't really know overall how effective it is. So that's something that you just have to test with your own brand and see if it's worth the time to post there or upload things there. Like I mentioned, we don't do a ton with it, but it's there as an option. If you are really honing in on Instagram for your marketing, then it may be something that you want to look at. If you are brand new to Instagram, or even you just don't like Instagram or you don't want to do a ton of stuff there, that's okay. Don't worry about Instagram Live. Don't worry about Instagram TV. Just focus on your consistency of posting a few times a week and doing stories a few times a week. You want to work your way up to daily, but the biggest thing is consistency. And that's something that I preach wherever, is that consistency is more important than anything else. So work on that, work on daily. Make sure you're reviewing your numbers so you know what's working well. If you have questions about Instagram, please reach out to me. Let me know. I have a Facebook group that you can comment in and ask questions that I'm super active in. I love answering and supporting how I can. In case you missed it, you can go ahead and, if you're interested in the show notes or the blog post, go ahead and comment live down below and I will get those sent to you as soon as possible, as soon as I'm done talking, actually. And for those of you that I have not met yet, thank you for joining. I'm so glad you're here. And again, I'm Christy Hansvik of Simply Online, and we are an entrepreneur's secret weapon. So I hope you have a great day, and join us back here next Wednesday at 11:30. We'll be talking about LinkedIn. Bye.